downtown Decatur, and you are in for a very unique cocktail experience. My guest tonight is Patrick Corhan. How you doing, Patrick?
Good, how are you?
He's the main bartender here.
Yes, sir.
Okay, not necessarily the creator, but I've heard you add your flair to this drink that we're going to showcase here in a minute. But tell us about a little bit about your background.
Well, born and raised in Marietta, Georgia. Got into restaurants relatively young. Started out doing volume bartending at a rock and roll venue in the Marietta Square about 5 years ago now. Moved over into cocktail when we opened in September about 2 years ago.
Okay.
And have been doing craft since.
Okay. And the restaurant itself is becoming very popular.
Yes, we're doing well for ourselves. The Iberian Pig is a Spanish tapas joint, focusing on small plates, obviously, and the namesake, the Jamon Iberico, which is a prized delicacy out of Spain.
Okay. Black-footed.
Cured, black-footed pig.
That is very unique in itself.
It's good. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Great. Okay, and then so the cocktail that we're showcasing is called the...
We're going to be doing a drink called the Iberian Old Fashioned, excuse me.
Okay.
It's a bacon-infused rye whiskey.
And you got to stop there, because I've never heard of those words used together. Bacon-infused. Of course, Old Fashioned is one of my favorite cocktails.
Mine as well.
But a bacon-infused, I mean, really, I've never heard of that.
It's not something I've seen a whole lot of. Our original bar manager and the opener of the bar program here, Thomas Junn, came up with it. It was something that he actually had in his back pocket before we opened the restaurant.
Great.
But it's something that we have clung to and we're very proud of.
It sounds unique. I love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Okay. So before we go into showcasing the drink, can you tell us a little bit more without giving any trade secrets out? I mean,
well, there are a couple of schools of thought on how to do bacon whiskey. Some people will tell you to use the bacon itself. Other people will tell you to use the grease. I won't tell you how we do it.
Please don't.
But with a little bit of research online, you can definitely come up with some ideas.
Great. Okay.
On how to do it yourself.
Okay. So I'm getting the feeling that when you say bacon infused, you're going to really get not only the flavor but the smell.
Aromatics are definitely the biggest part of this drink in particular.
But then it doesn't overwhelm the drink.
Correct. You know, a lot of people, whenever they ask about this drink, get nervous about the idea of bacon in a drink. You know, they think greasy. They think, something with texture almost, and that's absolutely not what you get out of it. With the bacon itself, you still have a very much clear liquor.
Right.
And what you get out of it is much more the aromatics.
Right. I mean, it's not. It's clear, but it's still got a nice color to it.
Correct. And if you smell it.
Oh yeah.
You know, the biggest thing we're going for is that smoke.
Right. And I can.
That campfire, that almost like Scotch.
My words exactly. I mean, I get the campfire. I get the scotchiness of a good.
We lovingly refer to this as an Irish breakfast in glass.
There you go. You've heard it. Great. Any other ingredients? Is that obviously is the main one?
The drink itself, yes, it's very simple. We use the bacon-infused rye, organic maple syrup, Angostura bitters, lemon and orange, and call it a day.
All right, cool. Let's take some time and we'll make one and show the audience.
Let's do it.
Okay, so Patrick, we're here. This is the first step of the process. We're at the ice block.
The ice block itself.
And that is a beautiful ice block.
Thank you.
How long does it take to do something like that?
We actually get this brought in locally from an ice carver out of Atlanta.
Really?
The ice process is really cool. The reason that we use it has to do with your rate of dilution in a drink. Whenever you use machine ice, you deal with more surface area, which creates a higher rate of dilution. So the idea of using something like this is that, besides the fact that it keeps the drink cold, it doesn't melt as quickly.
But the ice itself, it's got to be a certain type of water. Yeah?
Ice itself is a distilled water.
Okay, because we're not using regular tap water.
Correct. And they have special machines specifically built to make block ice like this. This is the same kind of ice that an ice sculptor will use for the swan at your wedding.
Very interesting.
Yeah, really cool.
And I've seen these at weddings. I mean, they're
Correct,
pretty big.
correct. We get it brought in, once or twice a week. We get a 300-pound block at a time and carve it down to size for ourselves. This is about a quarter of the block. So when we get it in, it'll cover pretty much this whole wall.
Right. It's pretty big.
And like I said, for the most part, we're only using this for cocktails that specifically call for a lower rate of dilution. Whether we're
Now,
talking
will you go through that whole block in a night?
most of the time,
Really?
we go through about one a day.
Okay.
So like I said, we'll go through
All right.
a block and a half,
Okay.
up to 2 blocks a week.
Okay, so again, ice is one of the crucial
One of the
steps.
crucial points of classic cocktail. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like I said, it all comes down to rate of dilution and
All right. Shall we
quality of
show
flavor.
your skill here?
Sure. For the most part, what I'll do is start out with a bigger block and a glass to give myself some size. We'll go through and just kind of lightly mark.
I might have to put my safety goggles on.
You'll be all right.
And of course, you need safety is a big thing here.
Absolutely, lots of practice.
Uh-huh.
It's not something I
don't-
recommend just going to town with at home.
We don't want the the old finger stab here.
Correct. So all I start doing is start
But I
breaking
see
down
how,
smaller
it
blocks.
really chipped away quick.
Correct.
It
Very
didn't-
slowly,
didn't
very
take a lot of,
steadily. I'm not putting a whole lot of pressure on it,
Right.
and you'll watch it just kind of shred itself off to where you can give it one good pop
There you go.
and get a nice little block.
Great. Okay.
From there, I'll just go through and kind of round my edges out, get a rough size
Okay.
and contour.
And again, the objective is to make it as round as possible.
Well,
Or
the
at
objective is
least-
to get it to fit in the glass.
Okay.
But, in a perfect world, we'll get it nice and pretty
There you go.
to where it fills the glass without having any weird edges sticking out of the top of the glass.
I'm mesmerized here. This is pretty cool.
From there,
Okay.
you should
And
just
we're
be able
putting
to drop
back
it right
into
in.
the shot glass. Okay, great. Yeah. And that's gonna stay.
That'll stay
like
that
that
way.
for quite
I
a
mean,
while.
honestly, if I were just to leave that on your table without a drink in it, you would still have that block in 3 hours.
Really.
It wouldn't be that big. Obviously, you would get some dilution, but that block will sit there all night.
Great. It looks beautiful.
So that's part 1.
Okay. Shall we move on to part 2?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Patrick, we just came from the laborious but very significant portion of the
Absolutely.
drink making of this significant cocktail.
Ice block's ready to go.
Okay. Now where are we at now?
The next step, we're going to start with the actual drink build itself.
Okay.
Start out with my bacon whiskey.
Okay.
We're going to use about 2 ounces of that.
Very core ingredient. The core ingredient, I guess I would say.
The basic.
Now, how long did you say this takes to make? Can you give us a length of time as far as?
I can do it overnight.
I mean, okay.
The
Okay.
bacon
So
itself,
the-
I can do in about
Okay.
8 hours, 10
Okay.
hours.
It's not like fermenting
This is not a
beer
week-long thing.
okay,
No,
or
not at all.
month-long
It's not like
thing,
making
okay.
bitters
or scotch or anything.
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
This is something I can do relatively easily in an evening. After that, we're going to do a ½ ounce of organic maple syrup.
Very interesting. Maple syrup. Okay. Organic maple syrup. Now, my understanding of maple syrup is real maple syrup, right?
Correct.
And this is coming from a tree.
Absolutely.
Okay. Now, unlike syrup you put on your pancakes. This
Correct.
stuff
This
that
is not pancake, maple flavored.
exactly.
Like I said, organic. We use grade B maple syrup. Whenever you use the grading on syrup essentially has to do with its texture. Grade B is something that's thinner, so it incorporates more easily into other liquids. For nice syrup at home, you're going to use a grade A because you want that nice thick, mouth-coating syrup.
So again, this is adding flavor. This is adding.
Correct. This is
aromatic.
your sweetening agent.
Okay.
After that, we're going to add some Angostura bitters.
Okay. Many cocktails use bitters.
Definitely a key component to building a flavor profile.
Okay.
So that is the basics of the drink itself. I have my sweetener, I have my base liquor, and the bitters. After After that, we're going to take a little bit of ice. Stir.
Bar spoon. You notice it did that nice and methodically, you know. to make
Absolutely.
Sure that all those great ingredients are all mixed in great.
Another big part of this, once we're done, you know, we went to all that trouble to lower our rate of dilution.
There you go.
So we're going to get rid of any excess water.
Right.
Make sure we've got a nice clean glass.
Okay. And that looks like a nice clean glass to me. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Wow. And I see already, layers of color, you know?
Absolutely.
Man.
Got that nice big block. Well, we got one more step
One
to
more
go.
step. Sorry, I'm premature there. Yes.
Garnish kills, finishes the drink. So, you know, with the classic old fashioned, you have your muddled orange and cherry.
You do.
You know, with this drink, we worked with cherry and it just wasn't the right balance.
Okay,
so what
so-
we're going to do is a little bit of orange zest, just nice and squeezed to give
And
it
you
the
notice
aroma.
the orange oil that comes out of
Correct.
the peel that you just did, right?
Correct.
Okay. And you put it
then
on
we're
around
gonna
the
do-
lip of the lip of the
Just so that
glass.
it's something that you get in with each bite, you know, it's something
Very
that
important.
sticks to the glass. Then we also use a little bit of lemon, do the same.
Really? Okay. So lemon and orange.
Lemon and orange, and that's
Wow.
going to be your
Boy.
complete cocktail.
That looks awesome. That looks really good. I'm going to have to say that this is a drink du jour.
Enjoy it.
Wow. That is great. I immediately got the flavors of the lemon and orange.
Absolutely.
And when I drank it, I got that bacon-infused whiskey.
Smoke, you get that nice
Smokiness.
maple.
Wow. That is very unique. Patrick, that's really good.
Glad you like it.
Wow. I could just down that right now. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That was awesome. I appreciate it.
Glad you liked it.
Another great drink du jour right here. Thank you, Dave.